Some great news today with the release of Flash Builder 4.5. I thought I'd share some of my favorite new features for mobile development. It's really easy to do and I'll just walk you through it now. Let's right click, new Flex Mobile project. I'll create a new project called Hello Mobile. Click next. I'll choose one of the templates, in this case view-based application, and click finish. Now the project gets created and we'll see a first view that automatically gets created for us as well. This view has a default title which we can change simply here in the property. I will say Contact Manager. We can jump into design view and then drag in some component, in this case a list component, and I'll constrain that to nicely fit on the available real estate. So 10 pixels from the right, 10 pixels from the bottom. And what I'll do now is just copy in some dummy data so we have something to show in the list component. Now the idea here is that if we click one of these items, we navigate and we transition to a detail view, and the detail view then shows some data. We can go back and that's basically it. So what do we have to do? Well, create that detail view obviously, so we right click this views package, say new MXML component, and we just give it a name. I'll say detail view, and this detail view will then show in its title the selected item. So how do we do that? Well, we can set up a binding. So here in the title we can use the curly brace syntax, which we all know is data binding, and we can just say data here. Okay, what's next? Well, we have to go back from this detail view, so we'll add a button as well. We'll nicely align this in the middle and we'll give it a label of go back. Still centered here. Okay. And in the source view I can add a click handler, and this click handler we say navigator dot pop view, and this will remove the view and go back to the main view automatically for us with a nice transition. Now we go back to this first view, and here we'll need to set up a listener for the click event that passes in the detail of the selected item and transitions to the detail view. So I'll go to source. In the list component here I'll say ID is contacts, and I'll set up that click handler saying when clicked I want the navigator to push a view, and we give the class name here, so I'll say detail view. That's the name of our MXML file in the views package. And the second argument is optional, but you can pass some data in there. So in this case we're going to pass in the selected item of our contacts list. So I'll say contacts.selected item, close the parentheses, and that's it. We can try our application now. When I click this debug button, you'll see that a configurations panel will show up, and here you can choose one of two things. Either you can debug this on your desktop by simulating a device, or if you have a smartphone or a tablet plugged in, you can actually test it over USB or over Wi-Fi. So in this case we'll test it on the desktop. I'll select one of the devices, in this case Nexus 1 for example. Click apply and click debug, and you'll see we have our contact manager with a list we can scroll through. I can click one of the items here, it automatically navigates to that with a nice transition. You'll see that the title has been updated by the data we passed to the other view, and when we click the go back button it automatically moves back to this first view. So literally this is 2-3 minutes to build a mobile application with multiple views, transitions. But now comes the cool part. You can even have this persist the data without having to write any code. So if you go to the first MXML file, in this case hello mobile.mxml, I can just add a property And that property is called persist navigator state, and it will do some magic for us. If we set this to true and we test our application again, you'll notice that it actually remembers the view that is open. When you close the application and you launch it again, you'll see that the correct view still opens up. So it remembers where you've been. When the application gets closed and you open it up again, all the data is still there for you. So that's excellent for mobile development, really easy, just a few lines of code, very easy to create more views, navigate between them. You can also overwrite this, create your own transitions. It's great fun, it's really easy. So have fun with Flex 4.5 and Flash Builder 4.5.